It's Christmas. Whoop, whoop. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alyssa, and you heard me right. It's December, so therefore it's Christmas time. Pretty sure I wore the sweater in my Christmas TBR last year. This is literally like the only dumb Christmas sweater I own. It says Meowie Christmas on it. If you didn't know, Christmas is my favorite holiday, favorite time of year, just the best. And it gets better and better each year because my child gets older and older. It's so magical to watch. And it just brings me so much joy to have the decorations and the presents and the Christmas vibes, as the kids would say. I love Christmas. Long story short. And of course, I have a TBR that kind of goes with it. It's mostly fantasy, if we're being honest here. So let's get started. The first book that I went to finish, which I've barely started a chapter in, is The Kingdom of Copper. Ooh, this is already off to a good start. The Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. This is the sequel to The City of Brass, which I read last month and adored it. It was so good. And this one so far has been really, really great as well, even though, again, one chapter in. If you don't know what The City of Brass is, it is a Middle Eastern inspired fantasy following Nari, our main character, who accidentally summons a djinn through magic. And he ends up taking her to the magical land of Daevabad to claim her birthright as the last living member of a branch of the Daeva. And she meets a very kind and knowledgeable prince who is also trying to help his people, the ones especially in poverty and who are kind of lower class citizens. But things don't go well for him and craziness ensues. The ending was bonkers. I had to start book 2 right away, and I am already so nervous for our characters. But yeah, so happy to have this. I ordered them like literally days after I started The City of Brass because I knew I was going to need the next 2. And honestly, if by some miracle I finish that this month, which probably ain't going to happen, I am also wanting to read, or at least start, The Empire of Gold. This is the 3rd book. This one's really big, but honestly, I'm not even intimidated because I flew through book 1 so quickly, and I've read bigger. Mr. Sando. Okay, so if by some random chance that I feel like reading other things, which I do plan on reading some Christmas books, but this one's kind of a wild card. It is wintry-esque, but honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna get to it. This is kind of just a, if I'm feeling in the mood kind of deal. And that is The Girl in the Tower by Kathrine Arden. This is the 2nd book in the Bear and the Nightingale series. I read The Bear and the Nightingale ages ago, and for some bizarre reason, I remember that book so well, and I don't know why. Like, I am horrible at remembering books, but that one I remember. And I am already, like, I started this one a while ago, and I got halfway through, and for some reason I stopped. And strangely enough, I remember most of what happened in the first half of this book. So I'm debating if I continue on, or at least try to continue on, see how lost I feel, and then go from there if I need to start it over. This is a very lyrical series, so not a lot happens in the small amount of pages, like in the large amount of pages I guess I read, because it's a lot of descriptions and dialogue. They're very lyrical and poetic and such. If you've never read The Bear and the Nightingale, I highly recommend it. It is about a girl named Vasya who can see the household spirits and the spirits in the forest around her for some strange reason. And she's a very quirky, very odd girl that people just think is, you know, they don't want to deal with her. It's like, you know, it's like Middle Ages Russia. There's also like a creepy priest. There's a winter prince, or the king of winter, and he's awesome. And there's a romance there as well. It's very wonderful, so beautiful, very atmospheric, makes you feel cold, which is perfect for this time of year. But this is the sequel, and it follows Vasya yet again, but this time she's having to deal with the ramifications of what happened in the first book, and you get to see more of her family in this as well. This next one is a big if. because it is an audiobook. I don't own it, and I've only listened to it in audiobook, so I feel like my brain would get confused. Honestly, I do want to own a copy and read it physically someday, but I have a lot of books that I want to read, so I don't know, and this would be a reread. And that is The Afterlife of Holly Chase, which is my favorite Christmas book of all time. It's so good. Every time I've read this, I've cried. It is so heartwarming, so wonderful. It's just everything I want in a Christmas book. This is about Holly Chase, who is visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future from the Charles Dickens novel Christmas Carol. And instead of listening to the ghost's advice, telling her to be a good person, to be generous and loving, she doesn't listen and ends up dead. So she becomes the new ghost of Christmas past. And this particular Christmas, they are given a very unique client who doesn't even seem to be that much of a Scrooge. And there are so many things involved with this story. It's so whimsical, so magical. The family dynamic and the relationships are just perfect, and the ending will have you crying. It's so good. I would love to listen to this again, but again, it kind of just depends on timing wise, because again, I do have a lot of books that I want to read. I also do really want to listen to it because it's so good. It's the best Christmas book ever. And lastly, can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm gonna do another cheesy Christmas book reading vlog this year. I had way too much fun doing that last year, so I'm doing it again. I don't know why, but I just was like, you know what, that was a lot of fun. We're doing it again. And then my other half of me went, why? So at some point on a weekend, I'm probably gonna go to the library again, because the last thing I want is owning that. So I'm gonna go there, pick out a random book like I did last year, and hope for the best, because last year was fun and a disaster. I've never laughed so hard at a book before, but I thought it'd be fun maybe to try it again. I don't know. I like to laugh. I like to see myself fail and to see myself angry and raging at a book. Who doesn't? So these are the books. It's kind of ambitious. I definitely don't know if I'll get to this one, but this is like a wishful thinking kind of deal. But I definitely will be plugging through this one because series is so good. Let me know down below if you plan on reading any Christmas books and what's your favorite, because I'm always looking for more that don't suck. And if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe. I try to be consistent. We're getting there. And of course, if you want to, you can give this video a thumbs up. Totally up to you. Well, I'll see you all very, very soon in the next video. Bye-bye.